What's up, guys? Coach Jimmy here on Tech Talk with BamBam Lee.
What's up, guys?
All right, today, guys, we was gonna do a, yeah, I like it. We country as hell around here. We were going to do. Good Lord, that's hard.
Do we need to restart?
No restarts. we just gonna keep going. All right, guys. So we had competition 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks.
It was a Saturday before Thanksgiving or the one before that?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's like 2 or 3 weeks.
You know, It is what it is. But anyway, guys, we had a competition. Good Lord. Slow it down.
I was like, slow down. Get your thoughts.
Get your thoughts.
It's 2 weeks, November 14th.
Nice. Yeah, and today's the 30th.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks. All right, guys. I wanted to kind of talk about comp, how different it was from other comps, and like what you expected from your first comp. We're just going to be talking a lot about competition and actually the culture of the school too. I kind of wanted to hit on that and talk about those things because for those of you guys that don't know, BamBam is my kid coach. He's the head kid coach here at Tech Center. We rely on him a lot to teach our life lessons, our life values, and the things that I kind of started a while back, and we kind of handed the torch to him and was like, hey, you teach and coach exactly the way that I need somebody to do. Take a little bit of that pressure off my shoulders so that I could focus on growing the adult program. And that's where we are now. So anyway, BamBam, what was different about this competition from your first competitions and stuff like that? Like,
well, mentally, I felt the best I've ever felt. Just going in, having a good time, enjoying it. I felt mentally prepared. First one, I had no idea what to expect. And just adrenaline and have that adrenaline dump. And I saw it with a couple of the other guys. It was their first competition, and you saw it on them, like they had that dump. And, I ain't gonna say I felt better physically. Probably my first competition as a blue belt year ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Physically, I felt better then, but just all around game, like, and mentally, felt good. Like I didn't go in with high expectations. Like my first one, high expectations. I was going to run through people. Like, yeah, this is going to be great. This one, just like, no, let's see what happens.
So this was your first competition since the layoff with COVID and like
it
all
was.
that. So how did that play effect?
Just a higher weight class. Got some of that COVID weight because I was competing about 170 to 180, and this time I competed 190. So
nice.
But I have been, like, you've been doing it with me, lifting weights, so I was a little bit stronger. So I didn't feel outmatched, like, strength-wise at that weight. Maybe it was just I got lucky this time that my competitors didn't seem that bad.
Dude, my heart just sank. You was like, oh, you've been lifting weights with me. I'm like, man, I lifted weights one time in the last 2.5 weeks. It's like on a Monday. I've been a slacker.
You've been injured, too. Like, I hadn't lifted weights since last week because my knee's bothering me, man.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, my back and my hip, and now it's my knee, too.
Yeah.
And, like, I started feeling good because I took like 3 weeks off and got my neck snatched on, and they snatched on my neck, but my back, my hip, and my knee just immediately started hurting again, which was very strange to me. I've never experienced anything like it. I don't know if when my neck got snatched on, my body was like, oh yeah, we're supposed to hurt here. Like, I have no idea.
Just getting old, man. Like, that's what I felt like, just falling apart. Like, because I said my knee, I know some of the listeners are going to be like, well, you can do upper body. Well, Friday I was doing like a neck exercise, and now I got like a knot in my upper back. It hurts. Like, I'm just falling apart.
You are the second person in like 4 days to say, oh, you're getting older. You're getting older. Like I've been doing this for 19 years.
That's 19 years wear and tear on your body.
Dude.
And you don't heal like you used to. Like your body doesn't produce, like after you get to a certain age, I want to say mid to late 20s, it doesn't produce like new cells as quickly or at all like it did.
Dude, I'm just gonna be honest. Like I've never taken supplements. I've never drank protein. I never did amino acids, L-carnitine, or nothing until like the year before last.
And that's when you start.
And that's when I started getting injuries, and I started hurting, and I started feeling like I was falling apart.
Well, that's your problem. Quit taking that stuff.
Somebody told me I needed to, like I needed to change my diet, but damn, here we are. I can't roll. I can't do anything. Just like I'm breaking down. But nah, if I'm being honest, I started doing those things because I felt I needed more to recover. Mm-hmm. And now I feel like I'm stronger than I was. I think Jimmy now is way stronger than Jimmy was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But Jimmy 5 years ago, 10 years ago is way stronger than Jimmy now. So my back injury when I had surgery in 2012 really it limited a lot of the things that I used to do. And I didn't realize how much I was compensating to protect my back until recently. Because I started focusing on certain movements and certain things when my back started hurting again. I was like, oh, wow. I've been posturing this way to not put pressure there. I've been compensating all of my movements. And jiu-jitsu kind of teaches you that, right? It kind of teaches you to, oh, this kind of is uncomfortable, so let's just do this. And instead of treating it properly and learning and strengthening my core and things that would help my back pain, I kind of was compensating. I'd sit to the side or put my weight to the left and right. Anyway, we got off topic. You just called me old, and I just went down this whole rant about how I'm old, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you I had two major takeaways from this last comp. One, so for those that don't know, there is a filling out process like between coach and student. And like you coach different people different ways, depending on their strengths or how everyone is coachable differently.
Yeah. 100%.
So like me, don't tell me how much time is left, nothing like that. Like I get that mental game and like, oh crap, I got to do something. And I shut down. But from my last competition before the COVID shutdown to now, like I actually focused in and trying to listen to what you say. Because remember that last one, you're like, just wait, let them come to you. And I looked at this man, I was like, no, I'm going to be first. Because that's what we do in here, be first. And I was like, I ain't playing that point game. I'm going to be first. And then I lost. But this time, my very first match, I knew I was up on points, just didn't know how much. And I caught a hug choke in mount. And I heard him. He gurgled. He was changing color. Like, I got this. I can just go off to the side here, finish it. But I felt it in my arms, and then I heard you, like, don't burn your arms out. Just keep position. And it's position before submission. I'm like, I'm so close. I want the submission, but he's right. I don't know how many more matches I got. I'm just going to hold strong, like not strain, but just hold it strong, make him get out, and I'm just going to stay him out. And I think that helped me because my arms were starting to burn. But when you hear that gurgle, like, I want it.
You want it.
I was so close, but I listened to you because I'm like, you know what? It might be a long day. I don't know how many more matches I'll have. And, okay, I'll just stay him out.
Yeah, so it honestly depends on the rules of the tournament that you're in, of what you want to do. If it was a submission only, I'd have been like, hey, dude, kill him.
Yeah,
you know?
Of course.
But it's a point tournament, and you had like 45 seconds left. You had plenty of time to finish a guy.
Right.
But we didn't know that the other guy in y'all's bracket wasn't going to show up.
Right.
And then you still had 4 more matches in absolute. And I'm like, dude, you don't want to burn your arms out in the very first match because I didn't know how much of your you had adrenaline dump, how
Right.
high your heart got, how tired you felt, how warm you was before you went out there, how much you ate, whether your stomach was burning.
Right. And see, all that felt great. I felt amazing. I told you, like, it's the best I felt. But I did feel my arms giving out. Like, it would have, like, I was burning my arms out a little bit. So I did back off when I focused in on what you were saying.
Yeah, I actually, I haven't talked to you about it, but I actually said, stop burning your arms. I said, don't burn your arms out. I said, you got it. It's there. Don't burn your arms out. And I was like, I said, there's a video.
I know, but yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, don't burn your arms out. You got it, but let's just relax. Like,
Yeah, and that's what I
just
did.
chill. Like, but what I was thinking was like, hey, dude, put your chest into it. But
Yeah.
if you're gonna do it, use your body weight, not just your squeeze on your arms.
Right.
But
Well, it goes back to, like you said, it depends on the tournament. And I did not want to give up position because you know how quickly the points can shift. Like, he hit a sweep, get a pass, get mount. Like, he just tied me up or took the lead.
my first comp, dude, my very first one that I ever done, that happened to me. I was up. It was like 11-0. I looked over at the time. There was 1 minute left out of a 6-minute match because my dumb ass competed at blue belt. My very first match. And, I had 6 minutes. 5 minutes, I just destroyed that guy. Like, did everything perfect. Took him down, whatever. We went off the mat, rolling and stuff, and nobody was in a good position, so he just started us up, standing up. And I had that adrenaline dump, and I looked over, and there's a minute left, and I was up 11. I was like, shh, I'm just going to chill.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing nothing, man. That guy took me down, mounted me, took my back. I escaped both of them. He swept me. Like, it was 11-11, and we had 2 minutes overtime because I was just trying to coast. I was like, shit. Like, I should have, went after it or just got in his face or defended a takedown or something.
Right.
But I was just tired and I don't have to try. I can just kind of move away from him. And nah, bro. And then once you get taken down and you're that tired, you're like, oh, my God. Like, you're overwhelmed, and then you're not thinking clearly because they just easily taking you down. And I was still thinking, like, well, so what? It's a takedown. I'm up 11 points. That dude scored 11 points in less than a minute on me. And I'm like, my jiu-jitsu is trash.
Yeah, that second guy went up against in the absolute division. Like, damn, I can't catch him.
Yeah.
I can't catch up.
Oh, by the way, that guy that you went against in your first match that you just, was all over him, passing. You passed his guard, took him down, passed his guard.
I won 12-0.
I was going to say, it was 12-0, and, that guy had been training for 6 years, so.
That's what he told me.
I was proud of you, dude.
Yeah. Thank you.
But anyway, so what made this different other than you actually listening to your coach?
Just, I guess the experience, the mat time, just, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's a local tournament. It ain't like Worlds, Pan Ams, nothing like that, It's a local tournament. What's the worst going to happen? I tap.
Right.
We'll come back in here and say, okay, this is what I need to work on. Which, by the way, leg lock defense, that's something good.
Just run away.
Just run away. Just stand up.
Just stand up.
Just
Just stand up, bro.
But no, just mentally, I didn't go in with expectations. Like, just let's have fun. And it's like I told you. Like, you told me not to be, laxed with it. And I ain't gonna say I was laxed. I was just in a good place and just had fun with the tournament, that blue belt mentality. Let's weird shit. Let's see what happens.
So what I actually said was, I don't want you to just kind of be like, what? Let's see what happens. I wanted you to have some kind of thought process to what you were gonna do, and I wanted that thought process to kind of be like, this is my goal. If this don't work out, then I'm going to try to get back to this because this is what I want. But I want your body, I want you to be relaxed and moving. I don't want you all tense like you're flexing in a mirror or nothing because that's not, sustainable or whatever.
Well, I feel like I tried to, I guess my jiu-jitsu would mimic my coach's jiu-jitsu, and you have a mobile game. It's a social contract. 95% of the work is their job. So instead of focusing too much on this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm going to do. If that don't work, I'm doing this, because then I don't want to get that hiccup to where, well, that didn't work, and now I pause. What do I do now?
Right.
I just, I have certain things I would like to do, but I base it off what my opponent's doing too.
I gotcha.
And so
That sounds.
it's
good. So, you trained for this one. Was the training going into this one different, from all the other ones?
I wouldn't say that, because we kind of, the more that we've been trying to build up that competitive team, we've almost getting it down to a system, where a month or two out, we start having we already have grind knots, but we get a little bit tougher, get that cardio, we push each other, and then we have one good last night, a couple hours, about a week out, and then that last week, you just drill, just get that drill time in.
So, yeah, I tried something different this time, and I didn't know if you guys had caught on or not, but all the other times, we do what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
This time, I started giving you guys social cues of what I thought you needed to the side, and then I was also giving you cues to what to listen for and what I meant for each one, because I feel but every time before, so I went and coached Care Blackburn,
mm-hmm.
and I spent time saying, okay, I haven't ever coached you before, and you hear me in my gym because she trains here with us, regularly, and I sat down and I was like, okay, when I say this is actually what I mean. When I'm telling you this is what I mean. And it worked out really well. And that's actually how we used to do it when we were doing MMA. If you had somebody, because sometimes you would go, even kickboxing, you would go and somebody would have to pick you up, because back then, you would be fighting, your coach would be fighting, your teammate would be fighting, and whoever was in the best health would corner you. Right. And you would have to know what each other meant or whatever. So, but I just kind of, this time I took the time to say, hey, when I say this is what I'm telling you to do. Instead of just telling them shrimp, oopa, put your arm on the inside. I kind of gave you social cues to say, okay. And also I didn't try to coach you like a video game, I'm pushing A, I'm pushing A, because that's silly. Calling out things I see coaches do this all the time, and I think it's a mistake. They're calling out combinations they're playing a video game or whatever for striking, or same thing for jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
Because your opponent hears what you're saying, and they're oh, nah. If you tell them get the knee in, they're nah, you're not getting the knee in.
Right.
Right. But if I tell you something hey, that that block's there, then oh, he's telling me to block the hip or block the knee or whatever. If I say, hey, that X is there, then the X pass is there or whatever. Right. Hey, you're letting him move his head. It's oh, okay, yeah, I need to cover the head or whatever. Which I didn't get into that. I was just making shit up right there. But you know what I'm saying. I spent more time focused on that going into this for you guys, and I think that's why we've done so well for this tournament.
Yeah, we had adults 3 first place and 1 second place.
Yeah. Dude. And everybody placed in their divisions completely.
Yes. Not so in absolute.
No, absolute. No one placed in absolute, which is.
But we all stepped up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And not disappointed at all, but you're going at different skill levels, different sizes. Ryan's 200-pound man, and he went with somebody that weighed 100 pounds more than him. So
yeah.
Anyway, so you are the kids coach here, and you've been focused on trying to motivate, give the life lessons, and do all those things. But what's your thoughts on the culture of our gym and how we roll compared to other schools and stuff like that, or if any, if you have an opinion about that? Like, what's your experience with other schools? Know them a lot or a lot? I don't know. I'm just trying to pull some information out of you.
No, not really a lot of experience with other schools. Just the what little bit cross train like some other ones have come in our gym, and then really all the training that we've started doing in Perry as well. That's about it. Like, not a lot of, I guess the way we roll, we train, not a lot of difference, I don't feel like. Coaching you can pick up on, like, listening to you coach and then listening, like, when Dale comes in on Mondays, and then going to them 6 a.m. classes and listening to Stephen coach, just picking up on different styles of coaching. That would be the biggest one. Like, the actual rolling, not so much, because you're always going to have, like, someone that uses more muscle, someone that's a little bit more timid. Like, you have these, what do you say, like personalities on the mat?
Yeah.
And that seems like across the board at most of the schools.
Okay.
Would you agree?
Yeah. So what do you, like, for me, no, I was going to go into another question, but I'll answer that first. For me, I think there's a lot of guys out there that are still, like, they got this idea of winning training.
Yes, I agree with that.
And I talk about that all the time. And I've even had people tell me, like, man, you roll hard. Like, you're just going in. Coach just goes in. You're just going in. And it's so different though. Like, I've been a school owner. I opened the school almost I've had the school for 8 years, 7 years ago when I opened it up, right? And 6 years. I don't know. It's been 6 or 7 years. So, whatever. When I first opened the first year, I rolled hard. If somebody from back then was like, God dang, like you go to TECT and boy, they just gonna whoop your ass or whatever, then that would be true. And it wasn't that we were just trying to whoop people's ass, but I was actively fighting. I was an active competitor. I was training every day. I got this school simply to train what I was learning from other places. And I, like, brought people in. I wasn't trying to make this my main business in the beginning. I didn't expect to make a lot of money. I was planning on working in the mornings. And so, yeah, I didn't get to school to just run it like I do now, like a business. I got this school because I wanted to get better and I needed training partners. So it was rough. And then after the first year, I started looking at the waivers and realized, like, we had 200 and something people try it out, and we only had like 30 members. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why aren't these people staying? I love this stuff. And then I realized, like, I was training the way that I had been taught to train early on. And like,
which isn't for everybody.
No, you just, there's not very many. And I thought I was being better. Like, I was like, yeah, we're not like it used to be. Back then I was telling everybody, like, yeah, we're not running 5 miles and then getting the shit beat out of us. Like we're being nice about it. And when it comes time to roll, though, we was rolling, or sparring when we was kickboxing. Like, we still sparred and kickboxed the same, but it wasn't as physically demanding as it was when I started. And so I was like, yeah, we're being nice. And then I was like, after a year, I'm like, well, maybe I'm being too rough. Maybe we're running people off. And then I decided, I was like, I got put in a position to where I just left the job that I was at, and I was like, I'm going to go after this and try to make this a career. And I got to get more friendly to sign people up. So ever since then, there's like a handshake that goes on inside the school. And it has to be this way for me, or I felt like it was, or I feel like it is. Number one, when people come into our school here, they look at me and go, oh, he's a little guy. I know I look big in this camera, guys. I know I look huge, jacked, because the camera's so close. I'm a little man. Like, it don't really matter, but I'm 148 pounds, 144 pounds. I fluctuate. But when I first started doing MMA and stuff, I was 129 pounds. And I've slowly gained a pound weight and muscle and stuff over the years. But you got people that come in and they'll look at me and they're just like, man, I'll destroy this guy, right? So here's what I think and I feel personally needs to happen. We need to establish that I'm really good at jiu-jitsu and that it works. So when I first roll, I submit you really fast 2 or 3 times. Or if you already have a really good, humble attitude, I don't submit you fast and we have fun right out of the gate. But if you're trying to Hulk me or shake me or I fear that I might get injured, then I'll go a little hard and then I slow you down. Mm-hmm. And once I establish that respect, like, oh, he's really good at this, then we can be friends and we can roll and we can have fun with this without anyone getting injured. Does that make sense? So
it does.
Now it's hard the first 30 seconds of the roll. Yeah. And then the next 5 minutes or 4.5 minutes, however long we're rolling, or 8 minutes, however long it is, it's fun. And we get to have fun because now they're not trying to tear my head off or beat me because they realize, like, oh, I have to learn how to do this. Like, I can't just beat him. And that's how I feel because it's very easy for somebody just to flop down on me wrong and break me, like break my ribs or whatever, because like I said, I'm not a very big person. It don't take much to pop a rib or to, hurt something or whatever. Right. So, but that's where I think that our school is different, though, is like right after that, we're having fun. We're not in here destroying each other. We're not in here smashing each other. You'll never have another real, like, rough roll. Even then, it's not rough. It's smooth, controlled, steady. Like, it's very smooth, and I don't snatch anything. I don't ever snatch on anybody because I don't want people to snatch on me. So we just don't snatch on people. We push, pull, and work our way into that, But if somebody goes to snatching on me or shaking me up or anything like that, I'm like, nope, it's time to stop this mess, Yeah. And another thing is I in the early, I felt like I had something to prove, and now the longer I've been doing this, the more I've been doing this, I feel like I've carried the heavy water, and I deserve the respect. I don't have to earn it as much. People just say, "Oh, that's Jimmy. He's been around this a while." I already have that reputation and that people know, like, oh, he knows what he's talking about. And people that have a good respect for jiu-jitsu or MMA or whatever we're training, like the people that have a good respect for it, they understand and they come in here with a good attitude. They'll never have that first initial, like, let me show you how well this works. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, because, like, also now you have certain guys that have trained with you for so long that new people coming into the door, we can roll with them. Like, it doesn't fall solely on you. And it's like you were saying, like, the first little bit, first 30 seconds, a minute, it's kind of rough. With new people, I always base how I roll, how they start off. If they want to come in and Hulk out and, like, yeah, you've been training how long? I'm about to smash you. And I'm like, oh, okay. I wait through that first 30 seconds to a minute because they're going to
fade.
They're going to fade. Their cardio's going to give. Their grip's going to give out. And now I can have some fun. Like, let's slow it down now. But then if they come in, like, wanting to learn humble, like you said, it's a nice, easy, slow roll, just getting them into it until they feel more comfortable.
Which is what I prefer.
I do too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't like the other. But also, since I've been training with you long enough to where I feel like in jiu-jitsu, I can protect myself, get my frames, and I'd rather a new guy try it on me than one of our smaller adults or one of our new white belts and hurt them.
Or one of our women.
Or one of our women and hurt them. Like, I can take it. Go ahead. Like, give it to me. I'll just get my frames. I'll withstand it.
So it's never been pointed out, but someone like you is called the enforcer. Like you are technically the one of the enforcers on our mat.
It's been pointed out.
Yeah. So basically what that means is like, hey, when somebody is acting outside the culture that we want, it's your job to humble them or not beat them up, because we don't really beat people up.
No.
We control them, make them tired, and let them make themselves tired or whatever. But it's your job to kind of take that brunt of it, however you want to say that. I don't know the word I'm looking for. Brunt. Yeah. For you to take that and then just kind of say, hey, now it's my turn, and show them why it's so effective.
Yeah.
And then hopefully turn them into a good member of the gym. But if they just continue that path, we don't need you in our gym. Like, I've had to do that a few times because I just don't want people in our gym hurting our members. I can count on one hand in the amount of time we've been open, people that I've hurt inside this school. Like, and I can name them. I can name the instances, and I can also tell you that they were very much deserving of it, of the treatment that they received. So
I know of the ones I felt the worst about. Like, I can remember 3 times I've hurt someone by accident. And I can tell you who they were. Like, I hurt Beth's neck one time. It was a guillotine. Felt bad.
Yeah, it feels bad when you accidentally hurt someone.
I hurt Zach's
heel.
Heel. Which it was a combination. His ankle. I had him in a heel hook, and he asked, like, put a little bit of pressure on. I want to feel it. And I did. And then there was a pop, and he was just sore. But then he heel hooked himself somehow or another again down the road, and it got worse.
He blamed you for it, though.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, and I'll take the blame. Well, I've been hurt too.
Yeah, everybody. There's accidents that happen in training, but we're pretty much
have never set out intentionally to hurt someone.
No,
Never.
And accidents are gonna happen. People are gonna get hurt and stuff, especially in a combat sport. But it's so far and few in between. How long have you been training?
Just over 3 years now.
Yeah.
August was 3 years.
Nice.
I will have been.
You're averaging one person a year.
Okay. Let's make it less than that.
But
I mean, when I roll regularly, because I'm here 5 nights a week, I will catch minimum 1 knee a night.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's something I'm doing, because I must be doing the same movement over and over again to be catching 1 knee every single night. I don't know.
Troy busted my head. Like, he hit me with a knee. Like, he pulled me down I was over him, and he twisted my head and like shot in it was a beautiful guillotine.
Mm-hmm. He's been working that, and they're getting good.
It was beautiful, but he kneed me in the side of my damn head, and I had a knot like a goose egg. And this was like last Thursday, was it?
It was Wednesday, because we were closed. Thursday was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, last Wednesday. And dude, was it Tuesday? Because I went to Perry Wednesday.
So it had to be Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. Yeah. So Tuesday, that's how long ago it's been.
So a week. Today's Monday.
Yeah, it's been a week, and I still have a headache. Like, when I clench my teeth together or eat, it still hurts.
Why give you a concussion?
I don't know. He hit me hard, and that's the first time that somebody has like kneed me or did anything since the first year. Corey Willis broke my nose with we were doing takedowns and sprawls, and I shot in, and he just threw a knee for no reason, like it was MMA, and just broke my nose. I was like, God dang.
All the knees I catch are usually my eye or my mouth. I don't know why, just my eye or my mouth. I have gotten a goose egg on my forehead. Down Nico headbutted me.
Oh,
you were here for that. You saw it. You're like, man, it's already swelling up.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
That's great. Was you here when Cody Justice didn't know how to break fall and knocked himself out?
I think I was here, but it was one of those that it was like we were drilling and it was on or something on the other side of the mat, and I heard the commotion. I didn't see it happen.
Oh, that's horrible. Man, dude, so like there's things that happen over the years, but
yeah, like
it's not like a everyday. It's not like an everyday occurrence.
It's
whatever.
not, and then it's one of those too. Like you get the regular training partners, like you said, injuries happen. You laugh about it later on.
Yeah,
like, you remember that time? Like so and so put so and so to sleep. Like yeah,
I remember that. But that's what makes it fun too. Is like you have memories that you'll carry with people forever.
Oh yeah.
So what do you think the differences between like other schools or the school you've only been to 10th Planet? Is that, have you trained at Frank's or
once? I went with you once to Mama's.
Rush, Coles?
Nope. Never been to Coles, never been to Rush. The only time I went to Rush, I've never been inside Coles. I went to Rush one time, it was last year.
To get a cage?
No, I didn't. It was a Rush Cup.
Oh.
That's the only time I've been.
Okay.
And then, like the 3 seminars we've had here, other people coming in?
Yeah.
Wade, Calum, Tony. Oh, went to Wade School in Florida. We went to that leg lock seminar.
Yeah, seminars are different.
Yeah.
They're not run like a class, and you don't get a real feel.
The only real, I guess, classes that I've been to outside of this gym, Mama once, when they moved to the different location, I guess. It was one of his grand openings. And then 10th Planet, Perry, Steven.
Yeah.
That's it.
And did the style and stuff seem the same? Did the role seem the same? Like, asking hard questions.
Thinking back, like, styles are a little different. Let's say I think, like, the coaches. But Roland's been about the same, I would guess. Yeah. Because honestly, I hadn't got to roll that much in Perry. Because I only make it to like the 6 a.m. class, and usually at the end of class, we do a couple rounds of a situational drill, and then I got to go because I got to get back to work.
Yeah.
So I hadn't got to roll and Perry that much. I've been to 2 open mats, and now like I've been injured. So, what was that?
I don't know what that was.
Are we still?
Yeah, we're still good.
That was weird.
Oh, camera. My camera messed up, but yours didn't.
And you still got one on both of us too.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah.
Just keep going.
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay.
And figure out which one is my camera, but anyway, you leave right at 7. So
yeah, I have to.
You haven't rolled. Have you rolled with Steven at all?
Yes. He has made a point because we come so far and I don't get to train that much that he has made it a point to try to roll with me. So I've rolled with him 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So that Steven is like, he could crush you if he wants, and
yes.
the way he carries his weight and stuff. I roll with big guys all the time because I have to in my school,
right?
Like to protect others.
Same. That, like I said earlier, I'd rather take it than you hurt someone. Right.
And so I have to roll with like Cameron's 270 or 260 pounds right now, and then like Adam was what 3? What was Adam?
He was 3+. Which did he get sub 3 before he left? Because he lost some weight.
Yeah, he had lost a lot of weight training. So has Cam though. Cameron's lost a lot of weight, but and that's why they joined though, is like to have a family and to do whatever. But dude, I have to roll with those guys because there's not a lot of people that can.
Right.
And like rolling and then going from someone who isn't as controlled or methodical to someone that is, like rolling with Steven is still fun for me. You know what I mean? Like he used to, it was miserable. I hated rolling with Steven. And now it's gotten fun because like even when he can just mush me and like put his weight down and like he don't.
Yeah. Like the same with me. Like he didn't, like it's pretty much however he wanted the world to go.
Right.
Like, he was in control, or he was letting me work, but obviously he was never in danger. What got me with him was he would put himself in the submissions wholeheartedly. He'd be in a submission and smiling because you won't go submit him.
That's great.
He'd be in a submission and just transition to another submission. Like,
yeah, that's great. Like he does that to me too sometimes. It's like I'll be there and I'm like, I know I got it, but then I don't want to burn out my arms, or I don't want to like have to like fight for it, and then I'll just transition to a different place. And he's like, "Oh, you almost had me," and I'm like, "Ah, why?"
So I've never almost had him. Like, he let me work and put himself there, but like I never, like, oh yeah, there's a submission, but I never like thought maybe. No, never.
Dude,
like, I knew he was letting me work.
So my experience, roll with him and stuff in Valdosta, and like then we train with him at the cage and Tifton and all that stuff. And like he's one of my oldest mentors as far as the game goes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And but the funny thing is like he just crushed my soul in the beginning. And, you know, like I tell that story, like, you can't tap, no, you can tap, and that type of stuff, right?
Yeah. So in the early days, was he kind of like when you first opened the school then?
Yes. Yeah. And I think it was like in his mind, which he's said this to me before. I don't want to speak for him or whatever, but he said this to me before. It was like he had something to prove, and he's like, they don't want it as bad as I do, you know, type of attitude. Like they're in here playing, and this matters to me, you know, and I get that. Because it mattered to him back then. It mattered to me too. And I just surrounded myself around the wrong gym because I didn't know any better. And he was with more legit guys. And he had been what is it? He had that in his life or whatever. He had been can't figure out the word that I'm saying, but he had it. Like, he had that contact with people and knew better. I didn't. And it wasn't until I come in contact with some of the other guys from fights. We had already had a gym that was fighting in 2006. Like 2006, we had already had guys that were fighting. And like we were just really good shape and like just showing up to these events. And then in 2008, Scott Harper put on a show. And I met Scott Harper, Cameron Neville. I met Al Martinez. I met a lot of those guys. I met, I met Richard right after that. I got into contact with these guys, and then I started cross-training with them. And then I met Steven, and then I met Chase and all those other group of guys a little later. And like I got lifelong friends from it. But we were just tough and like in shape. We didn't have any skill set at all. No one in our gym knew how to upa, shrimp, nothing. We were just winging it, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy to think about that now, because I would never allow one of my guys that are just really in shape to go fight, because they'll get their ass whipped, you know? And like the level of fighters now versus the level of fighters then is like this catastrophically different now. Just the amount, how far it has came from then to now is crazy. Skill level, I was driving 2.5 hours one direction just to train with a blue belt. And come to find out, the blue belt that I was training with wasn't even a real blue belt.
Yeah, it wasn't legit.
It wasn't legit. And we had 3 guys that was fighting, and my friend Jason got the short end of the stick twice, because after the first guy fought and lost, our coach at the time would just leave him. He'd just be mad and not corner him. Yeah, never went out there to warm him up. Never like took the time to do anything. He just, like, after the first fight, and it was lost or whatever, he was just like, man, I'm going to drink. And and left him there. It was twice. He went out there and fought without a real coach in his corner the first time, and he got put in an armbar and tapped with 1 second left in the round. 1 second left, he tapped. No one told him it was the end of the round. You didn't have anybody tell him it was the end of the round.
Right.
No, his first one was a guillotine. It was the second. He made it to the second round. Tap with 1 second left to the guillotine. Right. His very next fight, same thing. Coach left him hanging. Got put in a armbar. Tapped. 2 seconds left with an armbar. I'm like, 2 seconds. In which 2 seconds is a long.
I was going to say, like,
it's
this locked in.
It's a long time to hang on in a fight, right? But your mind don't loosen up as much, or don't say, "Oh, it's over." It's a different mentality when you're fighting in a cage, and you're like, "Okay, if I can just manage this for a few seconds, then I got it." Now, if it's too far gone, you can't hang on. Like, you're gonna get your shit wrecked or whatever. But
yeah, he
had opportunity both times. Like, even the guillotine, like, he could have just. It was tight. It hurt. It would have been painful, but he could have just waited 1 second. The armbar ended up being like, boom. If I remember, I don't remember, man. It's been 25 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever. It's been like 20 years ago. 2006.
Not quite. You said you've been doing this for 19 years, so we know it's less than that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was exaggerating.
15 years.
Yeah. 29,000 years. But anyway. It's been that long ago, and he just got a short end of stick, and that was the type of people we were training with, Yeah. Not a long rant for nothing, but now people know. Like, it would have, if we would have had better trainers or access to the level of jiu-jitsu and the level of striking that's around now. Oh my God, what could we have done,
Yeah.
So anyway, dude, what do you think right now? Like, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. What do you think? Where do you think you would have been right now without jiu-jitsu and without the people that Could you imagine your life now without what you have, like, as far as family with jiu-jitsu or whatever? Like, where do you think you would be? What do you think you'd be doing?
Honestly, don't know. I don't have an idea. I'd probably I would be partying more still. Because I feel like after I got more serious about my training, I sacked off on that and just realized that wasn't life for me. I think I would still be healthy, because I started trying to get healthy before I started jiu-jitsu. And just my training changed to where jiu-jitsu was a supplement. Like, now, my other exercises supplement jiu-jitsu. Like, jiu-jitsu's my life, and I like having that focus. So, I don't know. I'd probably be going out more and probably sitting at the house more too, because, like, I'm here 5 days a week. So, at least, like, I wouldn't be as constructive as I am here, I'd be wasting a lot of time probably.
Yeah, that's something that I don't ever want to do. I don't want to waste time. Yeah. Jordan Peterson said it in one of his lectures. I watch every lecture that he has that gets posted to YouTube or whatever. Yeah. I read his book. And he said in his lecture, he always asks himself, would I pay somebody $50 for the last hour I spent? Like, would I pay somebody $50 for the hour, the hour that I just spent? If the answer is no, you're not doing enough. He's like, that hour is your lifespan.
Yeah. Well, also, like, I might have had more time wasted, but who knows? I might have found like something to get into, another vice or something,
You might be a damn power lifter because you like lifting weights.
I don't though.
Is it as hard for you as it is for me?
Yes. Like, I have to motivate myself sometimes. Like, just how I push you. Like, you push me in jiu-jitsu, and then I push you up to weights. The guy that I work out with, Caleb, he pushes me on lifting weights. And, like, I told you some of the stuff he does. Like,
Dude, I can't even lie. Like, I've never lifted weights. You go out there and have me flipping tires, slamming sledgehammers, dragging stuff, pushing stuff. Here, carry this beanbag and walk and do whatever. I can do that stuff. Standing behind a weight bench and having like steel come in front of my face and my chest and like, I'm like, ugh. Like it, to me, it seemed, I know I'm doing it to gain something, right? Mm-hmm. And I know it's helping me as a person get stronger and bigger and all this. But it don't feel like it. It feels pointless because there's no right now result. You know what I'm saying?
It's one of those you got to stick with. Like when you first start jiu-jitsu, like how long?
I was gangster right out of the gate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't. Not at all.
I don't think anybody is. I think you got guys that come in that pick up faster, which I was that guy.
I wasn't, I don't think.
Nah. I was fixing to compliment you and be like, yeah.
No, I know I wasn't.
You know when I think when you started clicking, it's like one day you realize like, oh, I can just get on my shoulder and move my hips away. Like there was a clear day for me that I started noticing like he's getting better. And I don't know if it was like the day we went over getting on your side into a ball, elbow to knee, or if it was the day you discovered turtle. I don't know.
I go turtle a lot.
Yeah, that's why I joked about it. But
I'd rather be in turtle and someone take my bat than someone be on top of me, smash me, and like mount.
Note taken.
Like, I'm just saying.
What do you think about our school as far as the style of jiu-jitsu that we have compared to other schools, like from competitions and stuff? I'm fishing for compliments. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. What does every single school ask you or say to you at the end?
Pressure. It's the pressure. Like, how do you, like your weight, like your pressure, how do you get that heavy on me?
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Yeah. And then the last comp, the dude asked me, like, pointers, like, how did you get out of that darce? He goes, what was wrong with my darce? And I walked him through, like,
Who put you in a darce?
It was the dude that calf sauced me.
Oh.
He was in position.
Yeah.
He didn't have it.
He didn't have it because you hooked the arm.
I hooked the arm and his hips were high.
Yep.
Like, his hips were very high.
I remember. Yep.
Yeah.
And then he put you in truck.
Yeah. Twice. And he got it the second time.
Hey, you got out though. I was proud of you. That was good.
Well, there's one move you get out of everything. Just tap.
Just tap. Yeah. Dude, I think that what sets our school apart is our top game is pressure and mobility together. The way that we play is I get really heavy and I'm really mobile, and people hate it. I think that the way that I play that top game, people get overwhelmed, and I think they get overwhelmed and they're like, feel like they're drowning, and like we're just moving around them.
Yeah.
And
the first guy I beat, I felt like he felt that. I felt like he was drowning.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's I'm not saying other schools don't do that, but the way that we do it is very, very different. And I think that's unique to the way that we play because, again, I said I started out, I was 130 pounds, 129 is what I started out as. And I had to learn how to hold the next smallest person in the gym was 195 pounds. I had to learn how to hold this person down. And so I have a very unique way of moving around somebody, staying mobile but heavy.
Yeah.
And I try to teach that to you guys right out of the gate. So it's one of the first things that you guys learn with our around the world drills and the way that we move. And then our bottom game and stuff, we're now incorporating 10th Planet guards and 10th Planet stuff. And we're having a lot of fun with that. Getting very versed in truck. I'm enjoying trucks so much that I just went down a whole rabbit hole with Coach Steven and even like looking on the website and stuff, like just going down that wormhole of like learning, a rabbit hole, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Right. I'm enjoying it a lot because my bottom game was mostly like create space, wrestle up, get to top, sweep, get to top. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to stay here and play this game. It was like, I'm going to sweep, submit, or stand up. That is my goal. I'm not staying here. And the 10th Planet System's kind of like, nah, we can just stay here until they mess up and we'll submit them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've always had that mindset. I guess it come from MMA. It's like, hey, we sweep, submit, or stand up. And not necessarily in that order. We do this. If they do that, we do this. You know, like it's to get one of those three things: sweep, submit, or stand up, or stand up, sweep, submit. Like,
yeah.
However, now I'm just kind of find myself chilling in half guard, which I would have never done 2 years ago, a year ago. I would have never. It's been 2 years. I would never, ever, ever just chill in that position ever. I'm like, oh, I'll get you to lock down and do stuff. Whatever. I think the goals are still the same. It's just different.
It is. Because now you can start, instead of trying to sweep, stand up, submit, like you can like play that game and try them submissions first. Because now when they're defending submissions, that's when you hit your sweep.
Yeah, I mean,
you're still doing the same three.
Yeah.
Just now you're not as...
Camera. Checking the camera, making sure it wasn't lagging.
Okay.
But anyway.
Now it's just not as, like, oh, I got to get up. Like, you're not as...
Yeah, I'm not like, this is bad.
Yes.
I hate this. Oh, they're passing my guard. I need to, you know, swim for the hip, pull their legs across, or jam my head to their belly and run them over, or whatever. Yeah. It's not as dire now. Like, now the patience that come along with the game it's just fun. It's fun. I'm finding new avenues and new things to do. I'm still trying to get comfortable with it. Because dude, I've had my style, and my style is truly unique to me because we live in the middle of nowhere. And because we live in the middle of nowhere, jiu-jitsu is hard to come by.
Yeah, you traveled a lot and went to different schools.
So, yeah, going to all these different schools and learn a technique here, learn a technique there, learn a technique there. I have truly put together my own style of jiu-jitsu. And it's because I'm getting a little bit of information from here, a little bit of information from there, a little bit of information from here. And then I'm just coming back and I'm trying to perfect it. And it's tough, especially when you're small like I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not using that as a crutch or whatever. I'm actually saying that in order for me to figure this out, as a small person, like, every little movement matters. Like, for a bigger guy, you know, like, they can afford to move their head past the center line 2 or 3 inches before it becomes bad. Mm-hmm. I could just offset my weight by 1/4 of an inch, and now they're just bench pressing me up or just pushing me over. That 1/2 an inch, 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch is huge. And I don't think that a lot of people understand, like, how tight or how precise you have to be with every little micro movement that you make when most people can just bench press you 10 times. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Anyway, dude, we've been on this we've been at this exactly an hour, and it's getting close to kid class. But before I get you off here, what do you think the biggest benefit for jiu-jitsu or that it has made in your life, or that you would tell others as far as coming in and trying it? What do you, like, how hard it is mentally, how much it's changed your life? Do you think, like, if we would have started you out hard-nosed, would you have stayed? What your journey, how you grew, like how you got to where you are, and why people should join our school, in your opinion.
So if you smashed me, like when you first started and you said you ran people off, I would have been one of the ones you ran off easily. I was that person, I probably couldn't handle that. And
do you think that I was like? Do you think I smashed you out? Like, did you feel like it at the time though?
I felt like I didn't know shit. I mean, I didn't feel like you didn't smash me, like there was pressure, but like it wasn't bad. Like you said it. It's been a while since you said it, but you said you tried that. I think about the time I started was when you start trying some different things, and you try something different with me and the other two that came in. Something worked. I mean, I stuck around.
I think that was actually when I didn't want you guys rolling right at the beginning.
I think so. I think I didn't roll for like the first month almost. I don't think. Like it was just drilling. That's all it was. No, like I was fine with that. I was just there to learn. I watched everyone else roll. Like, man, these guys are good.
I was actually told by one of the newer people that it was intimidating, that not letting them roll in the beginning. That's why we started back letting the new people roll, because I was told that they come in and they would drill and stuff, and then they would see everybody roll, and it was super intimidating. And then when they got closer to time to roll, they didn't want to come back because they were scared they were going to have to roll.
I could say it was intimidating, but it's also one of those just bridges, like if you want to do this, you got to cross it. But I can see that, like just now having, like you've built your gym up and having people, like you can roll with so-and-so, roll with so-and-so, because you know they're going to have a good roll with them and not get smashed.
Yeah, I'm not scared at all to put any of the new people with you, because I know that you're going to take it to their level and kind of baby them and let them work. I haven't said this, but I was so impressed with you. I've seen you let new guys get taps on you. And like I've seen you like kind of not really walk them through it, but kind of like stick yourself there for the move that we done today. And I'm like, man, that is cool. I'm like, watching you do that and stuff, I was like, this is what we started. Me, like you and I.
Don't do that to everybody though.
No, you can't. You can't.
Like one guy, I ain't gonna say his name. I ain't throwing him under the bus, but nah, he ain't getting any taps.
Still. Oh man, that same guy. Who he said he guillotined some? Was it you?
Yeah, he said he guillotined me.
He's bragging.
Yeah.
I won training.
Yeah, no, grabbed my head and then he got von flued. Yeah. So there was a choke. Just wasn't me.
That's great.
Anyway, but like people should come in because definitely it's a skill set. And it's a very valuable skill set. And that skill set gives you confidence. I feel like I have way more confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just fun too. Like once you start it, I mean, you're getting healthy, you're getting a skill set, and you're having fun while you do it. I mean, that's the best way I can put it.
Yep. For me, the reason why I think people should come train with us is because I need your money. Bring me all your money. I'm just kidding.
Buy my shit.
Buy my shit. B-Mac. Shout out. Nah, but it's all honesty, all jokes aside, I think that it is a skill set that you will carry with you for a lifetime. And we're not in here beating each other up. No. We're in here learning jiu-jitsu. We're in here. We are actually taking you from one level. No matter where you think you are, you're probably not on the level that you think you are. And it sounds arrogant to somebody that don't know, but when you know, you know.
Yes.
Right? So we're taking you from this, we kind of call it the baby stage. We're taking you from this baby stage, and we are slowly building you up to be able to handle that type of pressure or that kind of whatever. And then we're taking it farther, and we're getting harder on you as we go. So the training gets harder as you go. But eventually you become a monster. And it doesn't take as long to become a monster in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as everyone likes to think it does. because I would almost guarantee you we don't do stripes anymore, but I would say like a person that would be like a 3 or 4 stripe white belt would destroy anybody else ever, like all the other martial arts. I truly believe that. I think that wholeheartedly that by the time blue belt, you should be able to defend yourself. And I think the way that our school trains and the way that we teach, that is true. I don't think it's based around sport jiu-jitsu. And I think that by the time you're a blue belt, you probably would destroy 95% of people on earth. By the time you're one of our blue belts, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that having that does make you feel better, makes you more confident, makes you a better person, because now you're less likely to fight. Not only that, you feel better about yourself. It did, like, going to work, having all that stress, coming home to the family or all the bills or all that stuff, and not having an outlet as a person, you know. I hate to say it the way I was about to say. I was about to say as a man, you know. I don't mean it that way, but I do. Like, we're meant to be challenged as human beings, not just as a man, but we're meant to be challenged. And without challenge, without nothing to overcome, you kind of either become a shell of a person, or you either become a shell of a person, or you start looking for that in the wrong places. Like, you start looking for those challenges in the wrong places, and you create problems for yourself in an environment that's not as controlled as this. So it's an outlet. It teaches you humility, but then you become a monster. Like, all of my friends either do MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or American Jiu-Jitsu, whatever you want to call it, because some people are calling it American Jiu-Jitsu now. It kind of is, because I didn't go to Brazil to learn this, and I didn't learn it from a Brazilian, you know. Every one of my coaches have been American, so I guess it is what it is. But anyway, it brings out that side of you that you need as a human to like, be better. This is one of the hardest things you ever do, but it's also one of the most fun once it gets down to it, as long as you don't end up in a gym where guys are dicks trying to break your neck every time you roll. There's several stories where people are just getting jacked up in the gym, and they're like, man, I hate Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I was one of those guys. I was running people off and running people away from it, and I regret it. I regret being that person for them, because this might have changed their life. And now I'm on that path and have been for like 5 years. I've been on that path to get people in here and to lead them to how special and valuable it is. And I'm helping them change their lives. Being able to look around and see what you guys have done inside the school, I'm so proud of you guys. Like, I'm proud of everybody in here, like, looking at what you've done and Zach has done. Even Corey. And Corey hasn't been here in a couple weeks, but even, like, what he's done and the mindset shift that he's made from when he first come, and Wyatt, and, like, all these guys that have been a part of our school that took the life lessons to heart. Like, it's amazing to see. And I want to see more in here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get more in, because, let's say, I mean, everyone should come try it out, and it's like you said, we move you along. We'll go at your pace. Like, you can have a good workout doing this, but it's not going to get thrown at you to begin with. Like, you'll get it when, you know, you're ready for it. Other than that, like, just come in here and put in work and learn a good skill set.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we got to.
Yeah, dude. Well, that was Tech Talk with Coach Jimmy.
BamBam.
BamBam Lee. Guys, thank y'all for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Everything that we say and do on the podcast is it's just real. We don't script any of this stuff. We just kind of just talk from our heart and stuff. And I really want to see you guys in here training with us and just learning the sport, learning the art, getting better. And just coming in here having fun. If you come in here with a good attitude, you're going to have some of the most fun that you'll ever have in your life. Anyway, that's Tech Talk with Coach Jimmy, Bam Bam Lee. Man, you guys have an amazing day. Peace.
Later.